Getting further through your Stardew Valley gameplay and want some more helpful tips, let's get into today's video on tips to improve your gameplay. Hey guys, it's your girl Fuzz and welcome back to another Stardew Valley video. Now if you've just started Stardew Valley for the first time and would prefer some more beginner tips, I would definitely suggest checking out my previous video on 10 tips I wish I knew before starting Stardew Valley. This has some great basic knowledge on Stardew Valley to get you ready to adventure through Pelican Town. Now if you've been playing Stardew Valley for a few weeks or for a few months and want to know what to consider next or what is useful, this is definitely the video for you. Now if you've completed the Community Center or the Jojo Mart program and want to know what's next on your adventure, check out my best late game items video right here. Now let's start off with number one, and I'm sure you've already considered this or started doing this. It is upgrading your tools. Now I know this has been mentioned previously, but I'm sure you're aware that upgrading your tools can be beneficial. This affects your pickaxe, your axe, your watering can, your hoe, and your trash can. There is an upgraded version of the site, but that's available at the quarry. I definitely suggest checking that out. Upgraded versions of your fishing rod can be bought from Willie's shop when you reach certain levels of your fishing skills, so be sure to check out for Willie's letter in the mail. And of course your backpack can also be upgraded at Pierre's shop by buying them. Now the question is, which item should I upgrade first and what would be most useful? Now it really depends on your gameplay, whether you are prioritizing farming or fishing or even mining. Now someone like me that likes to go through the mines and the skull caverns, I definitely would suggest upgrading your pickaxe. Upgrading your pickaxe means less rings to break open a rock, which means less energy used. I would then suggest upgrading your axe and then your watering can and your hoe, but usually at the same time. Now, if your main concern is to get a hold of a lot of ores and bars to upgrade your items, why not consider this tip? Head to the mines, and for example, if you need copper ores, head to level 20 of the mines. Head down to level 21 and try to find any copper ores here, or even a ladder to descend you down. Don't use too much of your energy, but instead head back out of the mines and do this strat again. Go to level 20 and down to level 21, and you'll see that level 21 looks completely different. You should definitely find some copper ore here, but if you don't, just keep doing this strat until you do. You can do the exact same thing for level 40 for both iron ore and coal, and you can do the same strat for gold ore at level 80. Using this strat is also good for money making if the price of the upgrades is a bit high for you. After reaching the bottom of the mines, it's also important to note that prismatic shards and diamonds are now rarely dropped by any monster. Gems and purple mushrooms may be found when searching trash bins and will be requested in NPC quests, and some monsters will be stronger now. Next up is being aware of your skills, which ones need more levels in them, and what professions you've chosen at level 5 and level 10. Not only will you unlock professions at level 5 and level 10 that can better your gameplay, but certain items and advantages will affect the player. Each increase in a skill level decreases the energy for an item by 0.1. Meaning every time you level up, you decrease the amount of energy used for certain items. Consider what actions are required to level up, as they are useful for an efficient gameplay. If you're finding that you're running low on energy constantly, be sure to try and discover all 7 locations of the star drops in the game. If you've made it to level 5 or level 10 of a skill and weren't happy with your choices, if the sewers are unlocked, definitely visit the Statue of Uncertainty. For a fee of 10,000 gold, the statue will allow you to reset your profession choices, and you'll get to re-pick them once you have gone to bed for the day. If you want an idea what is preferable for each skill, I would definitely suggest checking out the Stardew Valley wiki, only because every playthrough through Stardew Valley is different. For example, for my fishing skill at level 10, in one of my Twitch gameplays, I finally changed it so then crab pots don't require bait. And I'm also using the mod Automate, so I've got a system at the moment at the beach where all these crab pots are producing me items and I don't need to refill them with bait. Definitely a useful suggestion. Next up is definitely consider upgrading your sprinklers from quality to iridium. Now I know I've seen a lot of gameplays and people get comfortable with quality sprinklers. They set up their farm all around it and then don't realize that they could have used that space for iridium sprinklers later on. As someone that doesn't like to change up their farm too much, this can be an issue. And if I haven't prepared myself for iridium sprinklers, then I have limited space. Do consider making more space for your iridium sprinklers, because not only will they cover a wider area, which is 24 tiles compared to the quality sprinklers, which cover over 8 tiles, but it will use less items to craft. For example, 2 iridium sprinklers will cover the same amount of crops as 6 quality sprinklers will. That would mean getting your hands on iridium ore or bar, which may be difficult if your main iridium farm is through the Skull Cavern. Although I would definitely suggest trying to get further down Skull Cavern for this tip, it still requires a lot of effort. If you would like some tips on Skull Cavern exploration, why not check the video in the annotations and the description below. My next best idea will be to buy iridium sprinklers from Krobus on Friday, which can only be bought once a week, or break open magma and omni geodes for a chance to find iridium there. Maybe even check the quarry for iridium nodes and mystic nodes. You can also consider a pond with super cucumber for a chance of iridium as well. These are all great tips to farm yourself iridium ore. Quick tip, buy your wood and stone from Robin and your ores and coal from Clint in your first year. Just to give you a better idea, wood is 10 gold and stone is 20 gold in your first year with Robin, but after your second year, she'll sell wood for 50 gold and stone for 100 gold. If buying these are more of an interest for you, definitely consider doing these in your first year. My next tip is fishing and foraging will make you great money in your early game. And my preference with making money with fishing and foraging is the beach. Be sure to have 300 wood with you, open up this bridge here, and unlock an area that's great for random foragers that will spawn often, and for more fishing spots. Consider fishing next to the rock on the eastern pier here. High quality fish can be found here if your fishing rod reaches, meaning more money to make. Likewise, the pier on the right side is great, especially if your fishing skill and rod have increased. The different color of water here represents different levels of water, meaning if you can reach the dark blue area, your fish will be of better quality. Next up is be sure that you check if you have any artifacts on your farm that you can hand in to the museum with Gunther. The museum has a space to hold 1 artifact of each. And when a certain amount of artifacts have been handed in, Gunther will reward you. The artifacts have little use after handing them in once, but they can be kept for recipes, such as the dwarf gadget to craft a farm computer and ancient seeds to craft into a plantable ancient seed. Or they can be handed to Penny and the dwarf as artifacts are one of their light gifts. Otherwise, it's best to sell them. They can yield you some decent money. You can find artifacts in many ways, including using a hoe on an ancient spot all over Pelican Town, killing certain enemies, and breaking open artifact troves. Now, if you're choosing the community center or the Jojo Mart program, just know that only one can be chosen. I'm sure you've already chosen your destined path, as only one route can be chosen per gameplay. The Jojo Mart is great for those who are lazy and will prefer to buy their town upgrades, whereas the community center requires a lot of planning and resources. Essentially, completing either one will unlock the late game aspect of Stardew Valley, but each have their own advantages. The community center increases your friendship with the town folk and rewards you with every bundle completed. Plus, it unlocks another small bundle to complete. Whereas the Jojo Mart program has the advantage to allow the character to purchase an auto petter there, which is a great tool that can be placed in barns and coop to automatically pet your animals by a small amount. If the community center route is your choice, then finding the auto petter can only be found in the Skull Cavern treasure chest by chance, or by killing monsters and finding them in crates and barrels during the Danger of the Mines quests. Quick tip, make anything and everything into Artisan. Although this isn't the only way to be making a lot of money in the game, turning anything into Artisan essentially increases the value of that item. Wines, cheeses, mayonnaise, preserved items. All of these items will have their value increased not only by turning them into Artisan goods, but by utilizing the level 10 farming perk Artisan after the level 5 farming perk Tiller will increase the Artisan's goods value by 40%. If that doesn't scream money to you, I don't know what will. Now obviously Stardew Valley is a farming game, but it is important to plant any of your tree seeds that you have available. Placing them in chests won't do much, except if you are planning to make a lot of field snacks out of them. Instead, if you find that you have a whole lot of pine seeds or a lot of acorn seeds, why not plant them both on your farm and off the farm? You can either farm wood off of them, shake them for even more seeds, or even use tappers on them. Just like with farming with seasonal seeds, trees will always grow and are better utilized with tree fertilizer unlocked at foraging level 7. Not only do fertilized trees grow fully in about 5 days, but they will even grow in winter, meaning you'll have a chance to farm trees in winter. Just be sure to use a tree fertilizer on them. If you're short on hardwood, be sure to plant your mahogany seeds or visit the secret woods frequently in Cindersap Forest. I would highly suggest, if you haven't completed many of the Help Wanted quests or the special orders, if you have the 1.5 update, then it is time to do so if you have nothing else that you have planned for the day. Both of these boards aren't just useful for the money that you get out of the quests, but it also increases your friendship level with that character. There are also 2 achievements to achieve: Go For It, which is achieved at 10 completed Help Wanted requests, and a Big Help, which is achieved at 40 completed Help Wanted requests. Earning these 2 will unlock 2 unique hats from the abandoned house in Cindersap Forest, and mailers will send you gold in the mail the day after the achievements are met, 500 gold and 2500 gold respectively. These are separate to the story quests given during your gameplay that are only available during certain times of your gameplay. Now, special orders are a bit more complicated than Help Wanted. They are available every Monday and will always give you a choice between 2 quests to complete. Not only is the gold payout very useful for these quests, but there are recipes that can only be unlocked through these special orders. Many of these quests as well are seasonal specific, so be sure to check them out as often as you can. And of course, if you got Ginger Island unlocked and the secret door on the west side of the island, those quests are also really great to complete and will reset every Monday as well. Keep your Monday open for these special orders to complete and the secret door quests as well. Quick tip, prior to completing the Community Center or the Jojo Mart program, Pierre will be closed on Wednesdays. Now, if you'll be needing some seeds and you're really desperate for them, you can buy them through the Jojo Mart. The price of these seeds will be a little more pricey than normal, but if you're really that desperate, definitely consider checking out the Jojo Mart. That is all for today. Thank you so much for coming by today's video, and I hope to see you next time, guys. Take care.